This episode is brought to you by Oddmo's Pizza in Canby. Handmade awesome pizza plus craft beer, wine, and cider. Delivered. Call them today at 503-263-8444.
Welcome to Now Hear This Canby,
your source for news.
The threat of a possible teacher strike was avoided this week.
There's a new, irresistibly cute creature winning over fans, and its name is Scootaloo.
Sports?
It's like Lucy in the football. You want to kick a field goal, if they take it away from you.
We had to learn how to win.
Goal can't be in the last second of the game!
And interesting conversations.
Because I'm one of the strongest girls ever, and I know that for a fact.
I just really enjoy writing gossip as if I was a bear.
With an old maid daughter that make the best moonshine in the coast.
And if it would have hit me in the face, I think I would have died. I really do.
I guarantee you would have died, man. Are you kidding me?
Oregon will require all educators, school staff, and volunteers, as well as healthcare workers, to be vaccinated for COVID-19. Governor Kate Brown announced in a press conference on Thursday. The Delta variant has put enormous pressure on our health systems, and healthcare workers are being stretched to their absolute limits, providing life safety treatments for the patients in their care, said Brown. The Delta variant has put enormous pressure on our health systems, and healthcare workers are being stretched to their absolute limits, providing life-saving treatment for the patients in their care, said Brown. I am devoting all available resources to help, and we must proactively implement solutions right now. We need every single frontline healthcare worker healthy and available to treat patients. The move marks a walking back of her previous statement that local superintendents and school boards would be able to decide whether to require vaccines for their staff, and a reversal of the policy she announced just 2 weeks ago, in which healthcare workers would have the option of vaccination or weekly testing. The mandate comes one day after Portland Public Schools, Oregon's largest district, announced all of its educators must be vaccinated by September 1st, and Washington Governor Jay Inslee unveiled a similar mandate for his state's school and university employees. Oregon's mandate requires teachers, school staff, and healthcare workers to be immunized by October 18th, or 6 weeks after the Federal Drug Administration approves the shots, whichever comes later. Brown positioned the new mandate as the best way to protect students, particularly those under 12 who cannot yet be vaccinated themselves, and ensure schools can remain open for in-person learning this fall. Our kids need to be in the classroom full time, 5 days a week, and we have to do everything we can to make that happen, said Brown. While we are still learning about the Delta variant, we know from previous experience that when schools open with safety measures in place, the risk of transmission is low. Full FDA approval for the vaccine developed by Pfizer and BioNTech, the first jab to be okayed for emergency use in the United States and Oregon last December, is expected as early as next week. Public health officials have been sounding the alarm for weeks as the highly transmittable Delta variant ravages parts of the state with low vaccination rates, flooding Oregon's hospitals with severely ill patients. On Tuesday, Oregon set a new daily record for case counts at 2,941. The state reported 838 hospitalizations that day, and OHSU researchers expect Oregon will reach 1,100 by September 3rd. Weeks ago in mid-July, Oregon averaged about 150 new cases per day. As state residents 12 and over became fully immunized against COVID-19, the vaccines became widely available in mid-May. Clackamas County saw 877 new infections of COVID-19 in the week ending Monday, a rate of 205 cases per 100,000, nearly 4 times the level of mid-July. New cases, hospitalizations, and deaths have been disproportionately slanted toward the vaccinated by a vast degree, health officials say. More than 82% of Clackamas Countyans diagnosed with COVID-19 in the past week were not fully vaccinated. Clackamas County Public Health has canceled a series of COVID-19 vaccination clinics at Molalla High School after concerns arose that a planned giveaway of $50 gift cards would induce some teens to get the jab without parental consent. The clinics were scheduled for August 23rd and September 13th, second shots only, and would have followed a series of vaccination events that would have been held at the school since June. Though the events were to be staged at Molalla High School, they would have been open to anyone who wanted the vaccine and offered a $50 Visa gift card as an incentive. But the incentive became a flashpoint for vaccine skeptics in Molalla, which at 43.6% has among the lowest vaccination rates in Clackamas County. It also drew the ire of Molalla Mayor Scott Kaiser, who in an August 17th Facebook post in which he made clear that he was speaking only for himself, called on residents to voice their opposition to the school board. I didn't personally believe that 15 to 18-year-olds would be making a responsible decision in getting the vaccine, Kaiser later explained in a live video. I thought that they would be doing it just to get the gift card, and possibly not going back for a second shot if they didn't get their gift card. Kaiser reached out to Molalla River School Board, he said, not to cancel the event, but to nix the gift card incentive for minors unless they were accompanied by their parent or guardian. Instead, Superintendent Tony Mann scrapped both clinics. Not what I was really asking for, but okay, Kaiser commented. The kids weren't getting gift cards. Under Oregon law, teens as young as 15 can consent to medical procedures, including vaccinations, without their parents' knowledge. I personally believe bribing our kids with candy is not appropriate, Kaiser said. I can't control the state law that says kids 15 and over can make their own medical decisions, but I can say it's not right that we're going to pay kids to get the vaccine. Mann also cited the incentive in his reasoning for pulling the plug on the clinics. I learned this clinic planned to include financial incentives to teens who had been vaccinated without parent consent, Mann told KGW in an email. Providing a financial incentive may encourage some adolescents to go around their parent guardians, which is not aligned in the values of the district. The gift cards have been a common incentive at vaccination events organized by Clackamas and other counties throughout the summer, including ones previously held at Molalla High School. They are available to anyone who receives the shot, not only teens. Kaiser said that he was not aware of the incentive until the run-up to the August 23rd event. In his live video discussing the fallout from the episode, Kaiser said that he has received praise from other counties and school districts for his stand, along with the hate mail and even a couple of threats. Kaiser said that he had been blamed for his community's low vaccination rates. That's not me. It's the people's choice, he said. I'm not against the vaccine. I'm not for the vaccine. I believe it's up to each and every one of you on what you choose to do. Though Mollalla's vaccination rates lag far behind the Canby zip code, where 58.8% of the total population of more than 24,000 have been vaccinated, it has not led to a greater number of confirmed cases in COVID-19. According to the latest data from the Oregon Health Authority, Canby has actually seen more infections since the pandemic began last March, with a case rate of 75.1 per 1,000 compared to Mollalla's 66.0. The Canby School District partnered with Canby Fire to offer several vaccine clinics at the Ackerman Center in May. Though gift cards were not handed out at these clinics, participants were entered in raffles for other prizes, such as free tickets to sporting events, not to mention the statewide lottery that was ongoing at that time. In Molalla, free vaccines are available at the Safeway Pharmacy on West Main Street or at Providence Medical Center on Center Avenue every Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. For more information about the vaccine and where you can find it, visit covidvaccine.oregon.gov. If you have questions about taking the vaccine, consult your healthcare provider. The population of Canby swelled by more than 2,300 souls between 2010 and 2020, according to new data released by the U.S. Census Bureau. The official population of Canby on April 1st, 2020 was 18,171, up from the mark of 15,829 a decade prior, according to the 2020 census. The 15% increase outpaced the statewide mark of 10.6%, from 3.83 million to 4,237,256, but was much slower than some of Canby's peer cities in Clackamas County. Oregon City grew by 18%, from 31,859 to 37,572. The increase spurred the county seat past McMinnville at number 17 on the list of Oregon's largest cities. Canby came in at number 38 between Lebanon and Oak Grove. Neighboring Aurora, which logged 1,133 residents in 2020, up from 918 in 2018, is in no danger of catching Canby anytime soon, but just give it a couple centuries, because its growth rate is a healthy 23%. Mollalla's population ballooned 26%, from 8,109 to 10,228 last year, where Wilsonville was an explosive 37%, from 19,509 to 26,664. If those numbers seem eye-popping, they were dwarfed by still other parts of the state that grew even faster. For most of the communities at the top of the charts were tiny towns where even slight increases would show up big on the percentage column, the most dramatic of this being unincorporated Tethero outside Bend, where the construction of a new luxury resort ballooned the area population from 45 to 811, a 1,702% jump. One outlier is the suburb Happy Valley, Oregon's 27th largest city, which gained nearly 10,000 new citizens between 2010 and 2020, a 71% increase. That was the state's fifth largest growth rate. Governor Kate Brown issued a statement Wednesday offering to resettle Afghan refugees in Oregon and urging President Joe Biden to lift the refugee admission cap to allow more of them into the U.S. The governor's missive followed a letter she received from Democratic lawmakers who have personally experienced the challenges thousands of fleeing Afghan refugees will face in the wake of the Taliban's recapture of their country following the chaotic withdrawal of the U.S. forces earlier this month. In Oregon, we welcome refugees from around the world, recognizing that resettlement is a lifeline our country provides for survivors of violence and oppression, Brown said. We all thrive when we accept refugees into our communities. We benefit from the diversity of thought, opinion, and culture that refugee families bring. Oregon has welcomed more than 75,000 refugees since 1975, the governor said, adding that these communities are a vital part of the fabric of Oregon's history, culture, and economy. Brown's letter, in particular, called on the United States to protect and shelter Afghan allies who have worked alongside American service members as interpreters and other support roles, and those who may have faced persecution or even death under the oppressive Taliban regime. The lives of Afghan women and girls are at risk simply because they have the audacity to learn in schools and pursue careers, she wrote. Equal rights advocates are being targeted for seeking a more just future with equal rights for all. Members of the LGBTQIA+ community in Afghanistan are in danger because of who they are and who they love. Oregon is ready to welcome any and all Afghans who would make our state their home. The governor's letter calls on the Biden administration to lift its annual cap on how many refugees from all nations can be admitted to the U.S. It's currently at 62,500, already a sharp increase from the previous limit of 15,000 under former President Donald Trump. The Biden administration has accepted only 485 Afghans seeking refuge in the U.S. since January, according to the State Department, a number that pales in comparison to the 2,700 under Obama's administration in 2016. Experts in Oregon and nationally blame the low numbers on the Trump administration's deep cuts to resettlement programs across the country. More than 100 refugee resettlement programs nationwide shuttered their doors in 2019. The Oregon legislature, however, passed a bill in 2019 that shielded its resettlement programs from the worst of the cuts and has invested about $8.3 million into programs over the past 2 years. Oregon is ready to welcome our refugee sisters and brothers from Afghanistan and the rest of the world, Brown wrote. Oregon will continue to be a welcoming and inclusive place for all who call our state home, including and especially our immigrant and refugee communities. A Clackamas County employee has been charged with a hate crime after allegedly spray painting a large Nazi swastika on the memorial of a black man who died in police custody. 20-year-old Colin Michael Williams of Happy Valley was arrested Thursday after social media evidence was unearthed pointing to him as the person responsible for vandalizing a memorial to honor Jermel Madison, a 23-year-old black man who died June 28th while in the custody of Clackamas County Jail. The memorial had been left at the intersection of Beaver Creek Road and Library Court in Oregon City after an August 6th vigil. The suspect had also knocked over candles and broke picture frames that contained photos of Madison. Detectives were allegedly able to identify Williams' vehicle in surveillance video in the area of the crime at the time it happened. They also got a subpoena for banking information related to the purchase of the spray paint. Police say they located a video Williams allegedly recorded of himself destroying the memorial while using a fake name with the caption, "I unenthusiastically commit a hate crime." The suspect also posted, "I also spray painted a fun German windmill on the sidewalk for good measure. DM for the pic." According to police, Williams admitted he was responsible for painting the swastika and destroying the memorial. The cans of spray paint, along with other evidence, were recovered from his vehicle. Following his arrest, Clackamas County Administrator Gary Schmidt posted a statement naming Williams and saying his alleged behavior was unacceptable. "We do not tolerate hate in this county," Schmidt said. "We do not tolerate hate crimes towards anyone. At Clackamas County, we strive to create a safe and prosperous environment for all members of our community. The crime charged against one of our employees does not reflect the values of the county and our employees. We have deep sorrow for our community members and employees who may have been harmed by this act." Williams had worked for Clackamas County since August 10th, 2020, exactly 1 year before the alleged crimes occurred. His most recent position was as an engineering technician for the county's surveyor's office with an annual salary of $44,000. Williams was lodged at the Clackamas County Jail on second-degree criminal mischief, abuse of a memorial, and a second-degree bias crime.
Hi, I'm Megan Waterman. I'm the owner and operator of the Book Nook in Canby, Oregon.
And I'm Tyler Clausen of Now Hear This Canby, the show you're listening to. Megan, the Book Nook is one of my favorite places in all of Canby. It's a one-stop shop for gifts, board games, new books, used books, and books from local authors. Why did you decide to open it?
Well, I love the power of a story. I love how reading about different people and places, times, stretches my mind. It makes me see the world differently, whether that's a fantasy story or a biography. It all changes the lens that I see and how I interact with people. The reason that we added games to our store is for that same reason. It's just a different way to experience story through gameplay.
And along with the new selection, you're at a new location, right?
We are. We just moved, technically just across the intersection to the old Parsons building. We've expanded our space and also our selection. So we've got more books, more gifts. We added a larger gaming section. And now with the world opening back up a little bit more, we're starting to relaunch some of our events. We have relaunched our general fiction and our fantasy book clubs, and those are going great. And we're about ready to kick off game nights, starting with our beginner Dungeons and Dragons camp, led by Canby's very own Tyler Clausen.
Hey, that's me! If you're interested in D&D, make sure you stop by the Book Nook and get more information about role-playing opportunities there.
Yeah, or stop by anytime and chat with one of our booksellers about their current book recommendations and let us help you find your next favorite read. We're now open on Sundays as well, so we're there 7 days a week.
Nice. The Book Nook is in downtown Canby or online at booknookcanby.com.
Hey James, what's going on with the internet? The Wi-Fi is all spotty.
Well, is it your internet or the Wi-Fi?
What are you talking about? Aren't they the same thing?
Well, kind of, but no. You see, your home or office accesses the internet through underground fiber cables from DirectLink. It's actually your Wi-Fi router that converts that internet connection into an over-the-air signal for all your wireless devices.
Okay, you lost me at kind of?
Why do I even try? Look, you have seen like a box-looking device around the studio here. It's probably hidden under a thick layer of dust.
No, I don't. Oh wait, is it that blinky, flashy thing behind the stack of old pizza boxes?
Yes, it's the blinky, flashy thing. That's the Wi-Fi equipment that connects your iPad, your PlayStation, and the laptop to the internet.
I bought that off Craigslist like 8 years ago.
Frankie, I think we just found your problem. Your Wi-Fi equipment is ancient. Electronics, they get old fast, and even when new software updates or faster broadband comes out, your old router just can't keep up. It's like expecting a Model T to outpace those new F-150 Lightnings.
Great, so now I have to make Tyler go buy, I have to go buy a whole new Wi-Fi setup? How does I even know what to get?
Look, I'm gonna make it simple. Just call DirectLink, man. Their professional-grade Wi-Fi equipment is super affordable, and they'll manage the updates and the network security for you. They'll even help you install your new router in the perfect spot to get the strongest possible signal. You can visit directlink.coop/Wi-Fi to get started.
Well, that sounds great. I'm going to make Tyler call DirectLink today. All right, on the Canby Conversation today, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're coming to you live, pre-recorded, from the last day of the Clackamas County Fair. We'll be walking around with events and marketing coordinator Tyler Nizer and just talking with people for different aspects of the fair. Hey Tyler, welcome back to the show.
Hello, always good to be with you.
Yeah, how are you doing, man?
Doing well, a little exhausted.
Yes,
Thankful it's last
Saturday.
Day.
Yeah. Although I hear Sunday is also a tough day for you guys.
Right.
The worst day from what I hear, because it's just cleanup and no fun stuff going on but cleaning.
Exactly.
Okay, so besides exhausting, how has the experience been back in the saddle after a year hiatus?
Very good, very good. We're so happy that we were able to put on this event. The people have come out in larger numbers, so it's great to kind of see everybody support us and keep everything going. So
do you have
keep
those numbers for what you've seen?
I don't have them off the top of my head right now, but I know that previously when I checked, we were up at least 40% than in the past. So we were good. Yeah.
You sold out. I know the rodeo is just a piece of the fair, and it's kind of managed by some different folks within the fair structure, but sold out the last 3 days.
We did.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
You were sold out for Friday and Saturday as of
Thursday.
Yeah. Which is incredible.
It is.
Yeah. It's pretty. I mean, it's not unheard of to sell out Friday, Saturday, but pretty unusual for Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
And to sell out Friday, Saturday that early. We don't usually sell them out.
Yeah, it's usually day of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. But yeah, I mean, I was helping Rotary on, let's see, I get my days mixed up, Friday, and it was very busy, very steady at the gate. So what have you been hearing from folks as far as we're going to go talk to some people, but what do they think about the fair being back?
I think everyone's been really pleased. They're just happy to be back at it. This is a very long-standing tradition to have that break was kind of hard, but to see it come back.
Just emotionally.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And then to see it come back and then everybody support it so much so that the tradition can last for many more years is so awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's been great. I know for me to be out just walking around, seeing people gathering again, having fun, and just enjoying this tradition.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's go check it out.
All right.
Okay. All right, tell us your name.
My name is Susan Sommers, and I'm the kitchen cupboard superintendent at the Clackamas County Fair.
Awesome, Susan. Thanks so much for talking with us today.
You're welcome.
So tell us a bit more about what goes into that role for kitchen cupboard supervisor, for folks who don't know.
So a superintendent over the kitchen section is responsible for getting volunteers to assist during the fair and some before, and then also in getting the judges and sponsors for different specialty events that we have.
Yeah. And the entries are, obviously, we got jams, we got preserves.
Oh yeah,
cakes,
you've got
everything.
You've got yeast breads, quick breads, 1 and 2 crust pies. You've got candies and confections, jams, jellies, canned fruit, canned vegetables, cakes.
Okay, we're going to be here all day. How many classes do you have?
There's probably 25, maybe.
Okay, wow. And about how many?
Divisions.
Divisions, excuse me, yes. And about how many entries did you have? Do you know?
I'm not sure what the count was on how many entries. I'm
surrounded by literally hundreds of jars of jam right now. So just so you guys know.
We had 2 different judging teams just to get through the jams.
Okay, and do you do it by taste?
Yes.
Okay.
By taste and how it looks in the jar.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. This is a big deal to people. They really work on these recipes, right? And try to win. It's pretty cutthroat. Yeah.
Not necessarily cutthroat, but they do try and do their best because they want the awards.
Yes, absolutely. Who are some of our, did we have some sort of standout things that were really memorable this year?
Yeah, well, we have what's called Best in Show, which in each of those divisions we pick out one winner for each section, and we have a whole wall that tells who all of the best ones were accumulatively.
Let's go check that out. Okay. So we're walking over there now. They've got these very nice rainbow ribbons. Is that
Yes,
it?
These are what we call all of our best people.
Okay.
So we've got our best bread, pasta, cake, pastry, cookies, candy. The ones that we've added recently is we have divisions where we have our best specialty baker.
Yeah.
Which is like we have a vegan, a sugar-free, and a gluten-free category.
Yeah.
And then we also have our best international baker.
Okay.
We have 5 different international divisions that people can compete in. And then, best vegetable, dried foods, jams and jellies, and fruit preservers.
Okay, cool. What were could you give us some examples of some of the standout Best in Show things that we saw this year?
Yes, if you'll walk this way with me.
Look at that cake. It's like a haunted book.
These are our three-dimensional cakes, which falls under our specialty cakes. You can have like a decorated cake, a three-dimensional cake, a tort, or a 3 to 4 layer cake. Those are all of our. And our wedding cakes. We do wedding
on the
cakes
Great
too.
British Bake Off, they call these the showstoppers.
Yes, these are the showstoppers. These are totally the showstoppers.
Awesome.
Which is why we put them out front so that people can, catch their attention.
Very creative, very amazing.
So this is all of most of our division champions.
Okay.
So in each of the divisions, we pick out one that is the best.
Yeah.
So, for example, somebody went to a
These
lot
are
of work
all just beautiful.
for this 2-crust pie.
Yeah.
They used their crust to put in the fair theme on their pie.
Yes.
So it not only tasted good, it won a theme award.
Right.
So,
Right. And of course, the flavor would be apple pie. I mean, what else?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Of course.
All of these are just gorgeous, like
Yeah.
baked goods and pastries. And let's see, we've got chocolate-covered cherries. Is that
Oh,
what's
yes.
there? Okay.
Oh, and some really, really yummy, the macaroons.
Okay.
Melted in your mouth. Those were
well,
super
see, now
good.
You're just making me hungry, Susan. That's not fair. I didn't.
Sorry.
That's not why I got into this. Okay, this will put me off. We got fish jerky.
Uh-huh.
Let's go in the other
Yeah.
direction there. Suspiciously close to the macaroons. So, do you get a lot of fish jerkies?
Not a lot, but
Okay.
we do have
That's an easy
a
one to
meat
win.
section in the dried foods.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
And making jerky is not as easy as one would think.
Yeah, sure.
So a lot goes into that.
Yeah.
But you see how you have all the jars of honey sitting
Yes, I
around
was
there?
going to ask. Lots of honey.
Sours Apiary sponsors the prizes for
Oh,
all of our
cool.
best in divisions.
Very cool.
So all of the winners get a fresh poured jar of honey. When it came in, it was warm. They had just poured the honey.
Oh, wow.
So
Delicious.
It's always, besides being a division champion, everybody's like, I want the honey.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. So obviously we had to take a year off from the fair. A lot of
Yes.
folks were at home learning how to bake and things. Some of us learning how to cook for ourselves for the first time in our lives. Do you feel like, I assume you were part of it 2 years ago, last time we had the fair?
Yes.
Do you feel like people kind of stepped their game up this year, either because they had more time or because they were excited to come back? Or does it feel like a new
We saw a lot of
level?
new faces this year that we
Nice.
haven't seen before,
Yeah.
which is very encouraging.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. And how do you feel, Susan, just seeing this come back and seeing folks coming out to enjoy it?
It's been really nice, and we've gotten a lot of feedback from people saying that they were so happy that we had the fair this year.
Yeah.
And they understand that we don't have a lot of things that we have had in the past just
Right.
due to the short amount of time to get it
Right.
together, but they're all just really thankful that we had it.
Awesome, awesome. Susan, thanks so much for talking to us. Thanks
You're
for all your
welcome.
work and you and your volunteers for putting this on. Tyler, let's get out of here because I'm just going to get more and more hungry the more we talk about
Yeah,
this
and we already
delicious
passed
cake.
out all the men's chocolate cakes.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Oh, that's a big deal, right? The
Yes.
competition? Okay.
Yeah,
That
we
happened today?
have, besides all the stuff that comes in at the beginning, we have at least 2 daily contests going on every day of the fair.
Gotcha. And the men's chocolate cake is
one of them.
One you wrap up with. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Well, usually men's chocolate cake and Dutch oven cooking, but we didn't have the Dutch oven cooking this year because it was just, there wasn't enough time to
Gotcha.
get it together.
Okay.
So
Okay, but you didn't save us a piece of the chocolate cake.
it
All right.
went.
All
I'm
right.
so sorry.
I would like to add that besides the being a champion or awarded with the awards, there is money involved for the
Oh,
prizes.
yeah.
Yes.
So definitely look for our website. We're going to promote it a lot more for next year, so
Yeah.
that way you can get involved in the kitchen cupboard area.
I'm coming for that chocolate cake award next year. Thanks, Susan.
You're welcome.
All right, tell us your name, please.
Hi, my name is Lori Rhodes,
And here with the Rainbow
and I'm
Corn Booth.
the Rainbow Girls Laurel Assembly Corn Booth.
Yes.
Long title.
A mouthful. But it is funny because if you didn't know the name of it, you would still call it the Rainbow Corn Booth. So
Yes.
that is
Because there's a giant rainbow with a corn in the middle.
It has been a part of the Clackamas County Fair for 60, 70 years.
Yes.
Yes. Always in this location, or has it moved around?
No, it has
Okay.
moved around, but always on the main lawn.
Okay.
It was on the main pavilion in the corner, and they did some donuts
Nice.
and stuff. It moved to the one corner of the 4-H booth, and now we're under the tree under the other corner.
Yes. What do you serve?
Corn on the cob.
But do you guys grow it? Do you have farms that locally
Well,
that you
I'll
can-
give you the story
Okay.
of
Yeah,
Nadine
please.
Beck, who started the corn part
Okay.
of the corn booth.
Okay.
She got an idea and pulled corn out of her garden, brought it here, cooked it on a pot, and sold it. And that was how the corn booth had started.
Before the booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they eventually stopped selling everything else and just the corn and drinks.
Yeah, yeah. Was it, I believe it's a fundraiser.
It
right?
is. It's nonprofit. No one makes anything.
Yeah.
It goes to the Rainbow Girls for Laurel Assembly, which is in Canby.
Okay.
I was a member before I majoritied out.
Yeah.
It's a youth group, kind of through the Masons.
Uh-huh.
So we do a lot of service work and doing things for others.
Yeah.
And in the past years, the whole state has raised up over $15,000 to different, pretty much different, a lot of the Shriners Hospital for Children, because they serve and they do a lot of their stuff for free to help children.
Yeah, awesome. And did it start as a fundraiser? You said the person who started it was that initially her idea?
That was probably her idea. They had started up to raise funds.
Yeah.
It is our only fundraiser that we do because we work really, really hard for 1 week, and then we get to enjoy ourselves for the rest of the year.
Right, and just eat a lot of corn. Do you guys, I don't want to steal your secrets, but do you guys do anything special to the corn, or is it just a tradition you think that people keep coming back?
I will say it's the super sweet corn.
Yes.
And popcorn butter.
Okay, popcorn butter is good. Can't be beat.
It can't be beat.
Yeah. What do you put it on a stick, or how do we serve it here?
We shuck it and we put it on a stick, cook it in water. No sugar, no salt or anything to it. And we will cut it into pieces for kids.
Gotcha.
We will take it off the cob for our friends who have braces like I did.
Sure. Fair enough.
And, butter. We've added mayonnaise, Parmesan, tahini, chili powder, Tony's Creole.
Those are options people can ask for?
Options.
Okay, yeah.
And the plain old salt and pepper.
Of course. Yeah, that's how I would do it. I'm a traditionalist. How many corns do you sell?
Depends on the year. I'm looking forward to seeing what this year has done because we've done a lot.
Do you feel like it's more this year?
I think so. So it could be.
New record?
Let's see. And we did some more when we did 6 days, so it's kind of, say, maybe 2,500, maybe more, down, depending on years.
Sure.
If it's too hot, no one wants to eat corn.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say no one. That would be just a few less than normal.
Right.
Because there are diehards, like my parents, who will eat it.
The weather's been
no matter
phenomenal
what.
for our fair this year.
Absolutely
perfect.
Corn,
absolutely perfect corn weather, as a Rainbow Girl would say.
It's on my notes because I keep notes of what goes on during the year, so I can check things.
Very cool.
And it does say perfect fair weather.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Lori, for
you're
taking time out to talk to us.
welcome.
Last question that we're just asking everybody this year, obviously. How's it feel to be back? What have you heard from people after having to take a year off, and now we're back?
I think everybody's excited to be here. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure when we had short notice, but man, we pulled it together. I had volunteers coming out and helping me and getting it ready, and we did it.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Lori.
Corn fan, Tyler?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, can you guys tell me your names?
Brooke Ferris.
Oliver Ruger.
And you guys are here doing what?
Showing our market steers.
Okay, how many years have you done that? I guess, may I ask how old you guys are, Brooke and all?
I'm 13 and this is my first year.
Okay.
I'm 13 and this will be my 3rd year.
Okay. How long does it take to raise a market steer?
Well, if you just buy it, you normally buy them in the October and then the next summer you show them.
So like 18 months.
Okay, so you got to plan this out. How did you get into it, Oliver?
The person that I originally bought my cows from introduced me for it.
Okay, cool. Can you tell us a little bit of the day-to-day, what it's like raising a steer? I've never raised a steer before.
Well, we need to feed them, wash them.
Okay.
Train.
Sounds kind of like having a kid.
Yeah.
Some of this is sounding familiar to me. I have raised children, just not steers, so go ahead.
Training them with a halter is pretty hard, so that takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. How big do your guys' steers get? I guess what kind of breed do you guys raise?
I have a Limousin Angus cross.
A limousine? I'm talking about steers, not cars.
It's a Limousin.
You got a B near you, Oliver. There we go. Okay, Limousin, and how big do they get?
Mine's is 1,300.
Wow, okay.
Mine's in 100% Angus, and he is 1,100 right now.
Okay, a little bit bigger than you guys. They probably get pretty strong when you're trying to train them on those
Yeah,
leads.
You got to get them to respect you.
Yes, how do you do that?
Tie them up.
Yeah.
Nice. Show them who's boss. Very cool. I do the same thing with my kids, actually. So just kidding, listeners. One thing that's a big part of what you guys do here at the fair is the showing, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell folks what that looks like and what goes into that? You have to get them to stand a certain way, right?
So you have to lead them around and scratch them and position their legs so their body looks the best it can.
Okay. cool. I try to do that with my own body.
Yeah.
So, how do you guys learn how to do that? Tell us a little bit about the organization that you're with and how that kind of gets passed on.
So our 4-H leaders show us like a lot of what we need to do.
Yeah. And then there's an auction, right? You guys
that was this morning.
Okay. How did it go?
It went really good.
Yeah. People give you guys money for your hard work, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Can you tell us how much you made?
I sold my cow for $4.50 per pound, which resulted in about $5,000 $5,000, yeah.
Wow, congratulations. What about you, Oliver?
I sold my cow for $5.25 per pound, which I think it ended up to be like a $7,000.
Good grief, man. Congrats. Maybe you can get a limousine with that.
A few years.
Yeah. Just save up. But that's got to feel pretty good to see that work translate into that. My last question is just, can I get a loan? No, I'm just kidding. My last question is, obviously this is your first year.
Yeah.
Oliver, how does it feel to be back after having to take a couple years or a year off?
Yeah, it feels good to be back.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer last year not being able to be out here and kind of show off because you probably were still raising your year at that point and just weren't able to show it off.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations again. So nice to meet you guys. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
All right, tell me your name, please, and what you're doing here.
My name is Anna. I'm here working at Safety Street today, teaching kids about learning the rules of the road.
Okay, what kind of stuff do you do here at Safety Street? It doesn't sound, the name of it, super fun, but the kids out here are having fun. So tell us how you thread that needle.
Yes, we have little pedal cars, so we have the kids come pick out a car that fits their size, and then we'll give the parents a little sheet that they can quiz the kids on as they drive through our little track. Kids get to drive through, parents stop them at the different signs, teach them about school zones, when to stop, when to go. They get to ride around, then bring it back. They learn a little bit and have fun.
Awesome. Do you have a question?
Hi. Do you guys want to ride Safety Street? Oh, there you go. I was distracted.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. When they're done, they get a coloring book and a junior driver's license.
Awesome. Very cool. You guys have been part of the fair for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. About how many kids come through? It seems like you guys have stayed pretty busy.
Yeah, I'm not good at guessing numbers, but judging by the boxes of 200 coloring books we've gone through, which has been like 6.
Yeah.
Lots of kids.
Yeah. About how many coloring books are in a box?
200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so over 1,000.
Yeah, a lot of kids.
Yeah, awesome. All different ages and whatnot?
Yeah, we do cap it off at 10, but we have as little as like 2 on little push cars, and we've probably let a few 11 or 12-year-olds slip through too.
Right, they're smaller.
Yeah.
A little runty 12-year-old, maybe a tiny little 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Has a This is sponsored, I believe, by Clackamas County Sheriff's?
Yes, it is.
Yes, and what's kind of the goal with doing this and why it's been, something you guys have done for so long?
Yeah, well, the goal is to teach kids about driving safety. It's never too early, right? Because they're still constantly
I've got a 5-year-old that is obsessed with cars.
Exactly. Oh, wait, I don't think they got their prizes. Here, don't forget your coloring book and your driver's license.
Oh, they want it. They see it.
All right, here you go,
They want that coloring book.
I know, that's the most fun part. Here you go.
You guys are licensed drivers now.
Oh, yes. But, yeah, it's never too early to teach about drive safety. And, the rest of the booth here, it's not always just when you're the driver, because obviously they're little for that. Right. But things like, when to cross the road, what you're going to do. There's a little bar over there so you can see how tall you have to be to still need a booster seat so we can keep safe that way.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different ways.
Yeah. What kind of things do you hear from parents and kids who are maybe taking part in this for the first time?
Yeah, it's actually been nice. I've heard a lot of people say that they were repeat people. So they're like, oh, we've been doing this for years.
Oh, yeah. We're so
my son just
back.
timed out, but we've been doing it every year.
Yeah.
And just today I heard a lady say, this is great. This is a really fun way to teach kids about the safety. And I'm like, yes, that's the point. It's fun and we're learning. It's all good together.
Yeah. It is nice to make learning fun. And, obviously there's an element of seriousness with traffic safety. We also have the crashed car over there, so sometimes people learn different ways. Some people need the fear, some people need the fun.
Exactly, and it's even more hands-on than you'd think because there's often pedestrians that build up, so you do have to wait for the pedestrians. And we also have the little the Rawhide Express is coming through now.
Oh, there it is.
Which comes right through the center of our track, so they have to wait for the train.
Okay, yeah, this is a full transit system
that
we've got working here. Yeah.
Precisely.
Very cool.
We did have someone steal a car earlier, but we tracked it back down.
Okay, so we really had to call the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Well, Anna, it's been so great to talk to you. Thank you. I'm going to pitch that next year you guys do this over by the bumper cars. I think that would even...
That'd be fun, right?
That would even hammer home those lessons even more.
Precisely.
So, thank you, Anna.
Yeah,
Have a great rest of your day.
too.
All right. Well, welcome, sir. Why don't you tell me your name?
My name is Teaspoon.
Okay. And what are you working on there?
I'm actually working on a deer hide that's brain tanned, and I'm cutting out a pair of gloves for a customer.
Awesome.
So I do special order stuff all the time.
Yeah. You're part of our Pioneer Village.
I am.
How long have you been doing it?
This is our, not counting last year.
Right.
This is actually our second year doing it. We were invited 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I love it here. It's a way that I can pass my heritage down to the people here in Oregon and here at the fair.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the people that come in here really enjoy being in here.
Yeah, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your heritage and what you like to share with folks?
I am part Tulalip out of Washington State. My wife is Navajo and 3 parts tribe out of Mexico.
Oh, wow.
So the stuff that we do here is traditional Native American items. It's part of our past, and we'd like to share it with everybody.
Yeah.
And I say around the world because I've had people from around the world in our store before.
Yeah, yeah. You have a store outside of this?
This is our store.
Oh, this is the store. I did see the sign out front that said Teaspoons Trading.
Teaspoon Trading, that's our store name. And this is we travel from the spring to the fall.
Yeah.
And we go all over.
Yeah.
From coast to coast.
What kind of is it research and things that go into what you offer here and the types of work that you do, or is it stuff that was passed on through your own heritage?
None of this was passed on to me. What we tried to implement is the stuff from the 1800s.
Okay.
The old time beads, the old time Native American stuff that we build. It's something that is from my heritage, but it's something that the world can relate to.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We're here on Saturday. What's the fair been like for you this year?
It's been a little slow today.
Yeah.
But other than that, the people have been coming out. It's real good to see people out and about again, and that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. What have you heard from folks that have visited your store?
They love coming in here. They love the smell, and they thank me for the stuff that we bring.
Yeah,
it's one of their neatest stores that they've been to.
Yeah, this Pioneer Village is an interesting. It's been part of our fair for a long time. It's a bit unusual for county fairs, and you guys are kind of a tight-knit group. You see each other, right? You work together.
We see each other a lot. This is a part of history that normally doesn't go into a fair.
Yeah.
And that's what I think people are drawn to is when they come over here, they're walking back in time.
Yeah, yeah.
And they get to see, Dutch oven cooking, they get to see Native American, they get to see 1800s general store, soap making, candle making, they can do their own crafts.
Gold mining.
Yeah,
which is cool.
we got the 1800s covered.
Yeah, yeah. And it is very much, I've spent quite a bit of time here. My kids love it this year. And it is a little bit like its own village here within the fairgrounds. You guys hang out. The Dutch oven cooking guy brings food over to everybody when it's time to eat.
We have dinners planned every night.
Yeah.
And it's just, we have our own little family, and that's what Rendezvous really is.
Yeah.
It's a tight-knit family that, we may meet somebody here one year and they'll come back, I remember you, and they're like family again.
Yeah. Do you guys stay in touch throughout the
all the
year?
time?
Yeah.
All the time.
Do you do other things, other events, or is this your main gig?
No, our main, we mostly do Mountain Man rendezvous and powwows.
Okay.
And like Linda, I've known Linda for over almost 30 years now.
Wow. Yeah.
So she's like a mom to me, and we travel. She travels, doesn't travel like we do, but we're leaving here and we go to Wyoming. We're doing 2 shows back to back in Wyoming with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or she does them with us, however you want to say it.
Sure. Teaspoon, last thing I wanted to ask you about, obviously you, and you've spoken to a big part of why you do this is sharing your personal heritage and that of your wife and those stories. I wanted to ask you again about that, and also just this Pioneer Village in general. Why do you feel it's important to maintain this history, continue to share it, and really actually show people what it was like?
The easiest way to answer that is they don't teach it in books.
Yeah.
Once you live it, you learn more from doing it, and that's what we like to pass on. Kids to us is our future.
Yeah.
And if we don't pass it down to them, then they're not going to know about it, and then it dies off.
Right.
And this is a part of history that we don't want it to die off.
Right.
We want to show them and teach them the old ways.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, and even if it is in books, I mean, it's different, right? When you actually have your hands in some dirty gold water, or got your hand full of laundry that you're learning how they.
You can take a 5-year-old and show them something, and they'll remember it 40 years down the road, rather than they're not going to remember 2 years down the road that they read about it.
Yeah. Teaspoon, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you. Have a great rest of your day. Good luck with those gloves.
Thank you. Tyler, right?
Yes. All right. Can you tell me your name?
I'm Zach Palacios.
And what are you doing here?
What
are you doing here?
I take care of just a Dutch breed rabbit.
Okay. We've got one right here I'm staring at. The listeners can't see, but we've got this beautiful rabbit. What's their name?
It's Daisy.
Daisy. Is it a boy bunny or a girl bunny?
It's a boy, but we thought it was a girl.
Oh, okay.
At first.
A little bit of a girlier bunny name. Is that like a boy named Sue? Do you think that made him tougher?
I don't know.
Okay, you're too young for that song. So what goes into raising, tell me again what the breed is?
A Dutch.
Dutch bunny. What goes into raising a bunny like this?
Well, it takes a lot of responsibility, like feeding and watering them at least 3 times a day.
Sure. I have to do that with my kids too, or at least that's what they tell me. Yeah. What else?
Especially during showing, it acquires, it takes a lot of knowledge.
Sure.
Because you get so many questions compared to a lot of other shows.
Yeah. Daisy seems pretty active. Does he seem like he likes this? Different people, seeing different people and stuff like that?
He was supposed to be a therapist rabbit, so.
Oh, really? So he was bred to make people happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
He's
cool.
kind of used to people, but then after we stopped doing that, he got a bit more aggressive.
Okay.
So.
I think a lot of us would get aggressive without some therapy. So.
Yeah, and he's especially aggressive because all our other rabbits died during
Careful,
that heat
Tyler.
wave.
He's aggressive, so he looks like just fearsome.
He's just so cute.
I know. How much does Daisy weigh?
I'm not too sure about that one.
4 pounds.
Oh, he weighs 4 pounds.
He wears it well. He looks like you might weigh a little more than that, so that's good.
Yeah.
Good for you, Daisy. Whatever you're doing is working.
Yeah,
He's
but
looking at me now.
he's also aggressive because he doesn't have his rabbit playmates anymore, so.
Sure.
Because they went out during the heat wave.
Ouch. Yeah, so you lost some bunnies during that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Zach. That's hard.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Do they come from, I guess, the Netherlands, this breed? Is that why they're called Dutch?
Yeah, because I have the normal bunny. He was a Netherland dwarf, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not a place that's like us, but not a place that's used to 115 degree temperatures. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. How does it feel, Zach, to be back at the fair for you?
A lot better.
Yes, than
it's a
not
lot
having
better
it.
than virtual fair. Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you raised bunnies, and how did you get into it?
Well, my sister was into it, so yeah. Because now I take on her old goat thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I've been doing rabbits for 4-5 years, about that.
Cool.
Yeah, 5. So.
And you're out here with the table in front of the barn. What is that about? That's to show off the bunny and answer folks' questions and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that been?
It's been going good.
Yeah. What kind of things have people asked about?
Just pretty basic questions like, is it a boy or a girl?
Yeah.
What breed is it?
Can I eat it? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You gotten questions like that?
Probably.
So we talked to a couple of kids earlier that raise steer, and heard about kind of what it goes into their showing and their market, their auction and everything. What's it look like for the small animals that you guys do? Do you do showings as well where you have to arrange them a certain way and get judged, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So, like I said earlier, it just takes a lot of knowledge because it's not that hard to show them off.
Yeah.
Because there's not too many things to do it.
Okay. It's not like an obstacle course they make them go through, like a wheel and jump over stuff. It's not like that. Okay, that would be
not
cool.
at all.
Maybe next year.
I mean, they make that, but I don't think they did it this year because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And he's it just takes a lot of knowledge because they ask you more questions than usual.
Yeah.
Than normal shows because I take sheep and goats.
Oh, okay.
So, and they just ask you like the normal questions like boy or girl, what's its name, breed, when was it born, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with this, you get like questions about the bone structure, where certain body parts are.
Yeah.
So.
Daisy's getting all up on this microphone. You got something to say, Daisy? Go ahead, don't be shy. Seems a little quiet today.
Yeah.
So what's the end game here, Zach? Do these rabbits eventually go to sale, go to market for breeding or other purposes, or do you keep them as pets mainly?
I keep them as pets mainly.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks so much, Zach. It's been really great to talk to you, and Daisy, even though he didn't talk too much.
Mm-hmm.
Have a great rest of your day.
Okay.
Well, obviously I know who you are, but we've been asking everybody. Please tell us your name.
Joni Harms, from right here in Canby.
Right here in Canby. What are you up to? You've been doing a few shows, right?
Yeah, I have. Lori called me and she said I was actually in Arizona and didn't get home till Wednesday. And she said, well, do you have anything open on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday? And as Tyler knows, I said, I'm yours, whatever you need. So I have actually, yesterday I did 4 shows and one with the band, and then today 3. And so, it's fun. I've been catching up with a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. So always fun at the fair.
Yeah. It sounds like you've been back to doing live music. This isn't your first time back on stage, right? You've been able to get back on the road and do some stuff since the pandemic?
Well, I even did some house concerts, and then Olivia and I both did some recording when the pandemic was going on, so we weren't completely dry with nothing to do. And then I live on a ranch, so there's always stuff to do.
Right.
But really part of...
Maybe not as much fun as performing.
Well, the cows don't seem to applaud much when I sing to them. But anyway, no, really since this last spring, we've been pretty busy. And like I said, I just got back from Arizona, so we're both starting to travel and fly more. And I don't think anything overseas is going to happen until 22, probably. But we're hoping, unless things go awry again, that we can get back over.
You were doing some tours overseas, Germany, right?
Lots. Lots of Australia, New Zealand, and then also Germany. And then I did the live album from Ireland, Oregon to Ireland album. Sweden, Switzerland. All over through there. Lots of shows, believe it or not, in France.
Interesting. What is that like? What are the crowds like there?
Oh, they absolutely adore traditional country music.
Really?
It's surprising, but almost more so than in our own country. We're very popular over there, and so
fascinating. I thought they hated us.
I know. Well, Olivia.
No, that's a good reminder. No place is a monolith, right? Be open-minded about.
Absolutely, right? The first time I went over there, I really wondered how we would be received too. But no, it's been amazing.
Yeah. What do you enjoy about going over there? The food, the people, all of it.
All of it, really. I love seeing new country and meeting new friends, and it's so fun to share my music. A lot of those people over there don't understand the lyrics.
Right.
So it's just simply the style and the sound that they're enjoying, and it's amazing to see how much they enjoy it without even knowing what we're saying. But they'll dress up in the best Western get-up they can find. I don't know, they shop on the internet, I guess.
They got like a cowboy hat, but also the kilt.
And then the belt buckle's the size of a platter.
Love it. Very cool.
It is cool.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's come back closer to home. You're from Canby, obviously. How does it feel to be back at the Clackamas County Fair after
always so
a year
good.
off?
Always so good.
Yeah.
I mean, this fair has been wonderful to me. I started out singing here, I think, when I was probably 15 years old. And so lots and lots of memories of fairs here. And so it feels so good. And yeah, our family goes way back, our history on our place, because it was homesteaded in 1872.
Right.
And so, almost 150 years old.
Yeah.
And so it's really special to connect with people that have been in Canby for a long time, like I have.
Yeah.
But also meet a lot of the new folks.
Yeah. You guys are obviously Harm's Road, where that comes from. I've made the joke with Doc that it should have been called Harm's Way. I know that's what you named your band, right?
Yes, it is, exactly.
Which is great. What have you heard from people? Like you say, this is a big part of your personal memories and whatnot, being at the fair, performing at the fair, but you are also, and Olivia as well, are part of what people think of when they think of the Clackamas County Fair, and I'm sure you've heard from people that are so glad to see you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I hear so much. I remember when you were just a little one singing here, and then how did Olivia get so big? Because I remember when she and Luke, my son, used to get up on the stage a little bit then too.
Yeah.
But now he's working at Pape, selling John Deere tractors and all that. So it's really special because I have one of my children following in my footsteps in music, and the other one following my passion for farmers and ranchers. So it's pretty neat.
Very cool.
And everybody's been great here.
Yeah, and there's been some really cool things. I was actually telling Tyler about it offline, happening with Olivia's career, I believe.
Yeah. She just released her latest album, Rhinestone Cowgirl.
Okay.
And that has really gone wild. I mean, it's taken her to it's what she needed to do.
Yeah.
All her own original music.
Yep.
And it's getting lots of airplay, lots of recognition, lots of attention. I think she had one day off for the month of August.
Yeah.
And some days she's working multiple shows in one day.
Yeah.
So she's as busy as she can be, has a lot of eyebrows raised and ears listening in Nashville.
Yeah.
So I think there's a real good chance she'll end up with a record deal and really follow the direction that I did too.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Joni, thanks so much for talking to us. Where can folks check you out if they want to check in on you? Because obviously the fair's over, so can't come see you there.
Well, we're both on social media pretty much everywhere. Got a lot of things on iTunes, and then we both have websites still too.
Yeah.
JoniHarms.com and OliviaHarms.com.
Wonderful.
So thanks
Joni.
for taking the time.
Absolutely, thank you.
Appreciate it so much, you guys.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, can you tell us your name?
I'm Dennis Buffer. I'm the Dippin Dots guy here in the Northwest.
The Dippin Dots guy in the
right.
Northwest. Nice to meet you, Dennis. So, how's the fair been for you guys?
It's been fantastic. It's so great to see people out here again having a good time.
Yeah.
Enjoying the beautiful weather and the beautiful grounds here.
You've been moving a lot of dots?
We've been moving a lot of dots. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even with, it's been a little cooler than maybe people expected, but it's still been a popular item?
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. What do people like about the Dippin Dots? Just that it's a fun thing.
The uniqueness of it, right? I mean, it's you can't find it everywhere,
right?
And so they we hear them all the time walking by at Midway here, screaming Dippin Dots, Dippin Dots. So
You've been coming to the Clackamas County Fair for a while.
This is our third year.
Okay.
Third year.
Cool. And you do a lot of other events. You said you're the Dippin Dots guy.
Yeah. We do other events, and we do distribution all over Oregon and Washington as well. So
Is there anything that you especially appreciate about our event here in Canby?
Just the community. I just love it. The people here. It's a small town. There's no news channel on right now.
Right.
We're not talking about that stuff. We're talking about what's real.
Right.
And we had a situation here today. A young man lost his wallet and somebody turned it into the other stand. And
perfect.
So see, there's faith in humanity after all, right?
Good community.
He was all nervous. He wasn't going to get it back because it looked like $100 bill, but he got it back after all. So it was great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was the pandemic. That must have been difficult. Yeah.
Well, the event business
out on the chance to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, our event business was completely shut down for the year, but our distribution was going strong, and we actually focused on that. And now we're all over this community: Sublimity, Scioto, Staten, Salem.
Yeah, that was a lifeline for you.
Yeah, right.
Going.
No, we're just really blessed to even be able to do Dippin Dots.
How do you come up with the different flavors that you offer here at the stand?
Well, they're pretty standard across the nation. These are the top 6 flavors.
Okay. We got banana split, cookie dough, cotton candy, cookies and cream, brownie batter, and then your rainbow ice.
Yeah, those are the top 6 nationwide.
What's the most popular here?
Cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream. Interesting.
Head and shoulders nationwide.
Yeah. Okay. That one, it's got a little more than just the dots. You got the chunks.
It's got the Oreos, yeah. It's got the Oreos, big chunks of Oreos, yeah.
Yeah, love it.
And there's several other flavors. I mean, there's birthday cake and bubble gum and all these others, but this, stick to the few and be good at it.
Yeah. You put out some chocolate for us here to try.
Yeah, that's for you.
Brownie batter.
That's the brownie batter.
Is that a newer one or?
It's a few years old now, but it's.
Okay,
it's,
Tyler, you got to grab a spoon here too.
If you're a chocolate lover, that's the. So the common question is, what's the brownie batter taste like? Like uncooked brownies.
It's a snappy answer. You kind of. Okay, here we go. Get over here, Tyler.
All right.
A spoonful of these dots and chunks. We got some chunks in here too. Oh, you're just going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think? Are you a Dots fan, by the way?
I am a Dots fan.
Yeah.
They're good.
Who is that?
It tastes like brownie.
It does taste like brownie.
Uncooked brownies.
No, I took a bigger bite than I should have. Very good, Johnny. Good job on those dots.
Now those sat there, so those got a little warm. Yeah, but that's okay. That's what's supposed to do. So.
It was, yeah. It's almost like a soft serve effect.
Yeah.
Soft serve dots. You should look into that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Most people are surprised at the density of it because it's not,
Yeah.
It's not whipped up like most ice cream is.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing, and this will be my last question, Dennis, but
Okay.
we were thinking, obviously people were so excited to have the fair back. We're thinking it was going to be just a banner year for a lot of you food vendors and hoping for that.
Yeah.
Was it a good
Absolutely,
event?
I estimate that we'll end up about 40% higher than we did in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Great to hear.
Yeah, that's real good.
Yeah.
And we planned for that.
Yes.
We've been seeing that. All across the country. Yeah.
Cool. Well, Dennis, thanks again. Thanks so much for
Thank
talking
you,
to us
Tyler.
today. Have a great rest of the
We
fair.
have two Tylers.
Yeah, we're both Tylers.
That's funny.
Over 70 years ago, a seed was planted in the rich, fertile soil of North Canby. The seed was Swan Island dahlias, and today it has blossomed and grown into the largest leading dahlia grower on planet Earth. Family owned and operated, Swan Island is one of Oregon's premier agro-tourism destinations, boasting 375 varieties and 40 acres of gorgeous blooms. A sea of color that is among the most jaw-dropping and unforgettable sights in the entire Pacific Northwest. While their fields and annual Dahlia Festival justifiably get a lot of attention, Swan Island has a lot of amenities you may not know about. Their selection of gifts, gardening supplies, and other unique finds is among the most expansive in Canby area, and their fresh-cut flower shop is always worth stopping for. This summer, Swan Island is featuring a rotating menu of delicious food trucks Thursday through Sunday and a wide variety of fun classes for all interests and ability levels. The Dahlia Farm will also be hosting a local farmers market every Friday and live music shows through September. Swan Island and their amazing dahlia fields are open 6 days a week, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., closed Wednesdays. For class registration, concert schedule, or more information, visit dahlias.com or follow Swan Island Dahlias on Facebook and Instagram.
Joining us now is Donna Ellison of Ellison Team Homes, a firm serving all across the Portland metro area with 3 realtors based right here in Canby. Donna, can you tell us how Ellison Team Homes started?
I started in real estate. I grew up with my dad. He was a realtor. So I'm a second generation broker, and I grew up with him on weekends. And I learned a lot, eventually working with him for several years and then going out on my own. Our family moved to Canby a couple of years ago, but we really didn't know how it was going to go. And within the first probably 3 months of being here, we literally fell head over heels in love with this place. We love the community, the spirit here. The first Christmas at Waite Park, I was literally crying because everybody was walking around saying Merry Christmas and people were drinking hot chocolate, and we got in a carriage ride with the horse, and it was just too much. You just realize it's special here. Real estate's always been my passion. It is my professional love. I enjoy the people, the relationships. So much comes out of kind of the intensity that you spend with people. You're really up in their business for a period of time, and sometimes it's a couple months, sometimes it's a couple years. Sometimes it's a lifetime.
Yeah.
I feel very blessed at this point to have people that have been with me for almost my entire career. Clients that have bought and sold maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 homes. I have one client that's bought and sold 8 homes with me.
Yeah.
3 generations. It's a beautiful business. It makes for a very full life.
How can people find you?
How can they not, really? We have a website, www.ellisonteamhomes.com.
Well, thank you, Donna.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, we're coming to the end of our day here at the Clackamas County Fair, and we wanted to wrap up, as many days at the fair do, with a look at the Canby Rodeo. So why don't you guys please tell me your names and what you do?
My name is Alexa, and I'm one of the 2020 and 2021 Clackamas County Fair and Canby Rodeo princesses.
Hi, Alexa.
I am Nicole, and I am the 2020-2021 Clackamas County Fair and Canby Rodeo Queen.
Your Highness.
And I'm Marley. I'm another one of the 2020-2021 Clackamas County Fair and Canby Rodeo princesses.
Marley, well, and that's everybody. Oh wait, there's somebody else.
I'm JJ. I am the 2021 Mr. Clackamas County Rodeo King.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Go with that one.
Okay. Welcome. Welcome back, JJ, and welcome to you guys. So, how does it feel? We're here Saturday. You've done 5 days, almost 5 days of rodeo. How's it feel to be back?
It feels really good to be rodeoing again. It's been 2 years, so the first year we didn't get our chance, but now we're back in our second year and we finally got our chance, and it's actually really sad that it's the last day.
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep the gates open as long as we can.
Yeah. If folks don't know, you guys were appointed to the court for 2020,
right,
so you've gotten an extended service here.
Yep.
Yeah. How about you, ladies? How's it been?
I think it's definitely been a really great experience. It's been a lot of fun. The board has been really welcoming. Both the fair and rodeo board have kind of made us feel welcome and helped us kind of create. So we're here all week, so we create like a home out of the space that we're in and where we are here. And definitely a little bittersweet that we're getting to the end, but I think we're ready to kind of blow tonight out of the water with the biggest show that we can for the week.
Just leave it all out.
We're gonna leave it all out on the out on the dirt.
Marley.
Yeah, I've learned and grown so much over the last 2 years, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to continue through to this next year.
Yeah.
And Nicole and Alexa have been some of the best partners in crime the last couple of years, and I can't thank them enough for an incredible experience.
Yeah.
And I'm sad it's coming to an end. Even after 2 years, it feels like it's taken forever to get here, but also went by so fast. So gonna take it all in and probably cry it out a little bit tonight, but tears of joy and happiness. So
Sure. JJ, I know it's been a hard time for you. How's it feel to finally have people be able to laugh at you and make fun of you again after
There you go.
more than a year
There's something to aspire to. 2020 was a tough year for everybody, even those that had businesses that stayed open. And I think one of the things that we realized, if there is a silver lining to COVID or any kind of pandemic, is that we really get in touch with ourselves and find out what it is that drives us as people. And one thing that we've seen this year, and I can respect what the Queenies here are going through, that feeling of closure, but it's, for me, I start on Monday in Kennewick, so I don't quite have that same feeling like the doom and gloom the whole world's ending like they do. But I know where they're feeling is that they don't want to lose that high.
Yeah.
And it's definitely something that we learned from last year. What really makes us as people is the interactions that we have, the relationships that we have. What is it that we find entertaining? What is it that we choose to do with our money? All of those things have been very clear, and really our Western way of life has been exponential in that it has been blown out of the water with attendance.
Yeah.
People are coming back in droves, and they're saying to us that, look, we support what you're doing, and we're not going to let this happen again. And I really like how that has behaved. Every single rodeo I've done since March, excluding ones that had to do something with COVID rules, has been massive sellouts.
Yeah.
Been massive sellouts, and it's no exception here. They've had 4 sellout nights out of 5.
Yeah.
And that is a record. And so I think what's cool is that we are now moving forward, and as COVID resurges itself, I think people are really ready to say, look, we want to stifle this thing as best we can, but we're not going to throw the whole kitchen sink at it like we did previously. We want to maintain our way of life.
There's certain things we want to keep.
And you know, and me personally, 2020 was terrible because there's nothing more non-essential than a rodeo clap. And then, you know, my backup.
Maybe a podcaster.
Maybe a podcast. Well, no, because a lot of people, that's what they did. Podcasts kind of exploded. Things that you could record in your basement like a 30-year-old millennial, those things were just exploding. So I think the live entertainment was what really took the beating, and from country music singers or singers in general across the board, concerts, any kind of live show that got shut down, we had to really pull back the horns and figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing to just remind folks about with rodeo as well. I mean, if you're a music artist or whatever, you know, that's difficult as well. But you don't have animals to feed. I mean, you can't lay off a cow or a bronco. So.
They don't know there's a pandemic. They still eat.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, as you ladies were talking, we had the Clackamas County Court. So you guys are very focused around this event. JJ, as you mentioned, you do a circuit. So you know, you love being back in Canby. Of course, I know that it's your favorite out of all of them.
Of course.
But how did that feel for you to be back doing events like this in general after this?
Oh, it's great. You know, starting in March, we kind of just got back with the rules and we started doing things, and we kicked it off. For me, I think my first event was in Redmond, Oregon, and we went right into the Ram National Circuit Finals in Kissimmee, Florida, and at that point we couldn't have a crowd.
Yeah.
And that was a humbling experience, to say the least. If you can't have a crowd, the live show really takes a beating. Now we have the Cowboy Channel now, which is fantastic. There's some growing pains that anybody would admit we're coming across, trying to take something that was built for live audiences and convert it into a TV program. We're not there. We're nowhere close to being where we need to be with the Cowboy Channel, but it's headed in the right direction.
Nice.
So I like that. I like that we can put rodeo in households that maybe wouldn't have it otherwise. But I'm telling you, the thing about rodeo is like baseball. There's something about being in the ballpark. There's something about hearing the crack of the bat. There's something about hearing the gate open. There's something about hearing the thunder of the Queen's horse as it runs by you. You can't get that from TV. So there'll always be that live show drive that we try to get people to attend a rodeo, not just watch it on TV.
Yeah, absolutely. Alexa, can you tell us a little bit more about what the court does? You know, I guess normal times, as well as what you have been doing in your tenure.
Right. So right as we're selected for the court, we start off with a couple community events here in Canby. So we did stuff like during December, like a Christmas parade, a light up the night, and stuff like that. And then we move right on into other coronations for other rodeo courts such as St. Paul, Miss Teen Rodeo Oregon, the other title holders, and we go and support them at their coronations. And then I think in May of 2021 was our first rodeo. We attended Spray Rodeo, and then from there we just went into our normal rodeo schedule, even though we had a few cancellations such as Sisters and Molalla. But we got to go to ones like Crooked River and St. Paul and also Chief Joseph Days before we came here to our rodeo. So it's a lot of traveling around and just promoting our fair and rodeo because it's one of the last ones of the season, so we really want that big attendance at ours.
And did it end up being, I think I might have heard you guys talk about this, but maybe even a little busier, a little more packed this summer than maybe it would have normally been because everyone was excited to do something.
It was definitely a little bit busier, but we still had all our scheduled events, and we came back to Canby and it was sold out a couple of nights, so it was definitely larger in attendance. And we really hoped that would be the case.
Cool. Nicole, I'd love to hear just a little bit about the psychology of a rodeo queen. Is it something you grew up wanting to do, or how did you get into it?
So for me, it was kind of a spur of the moment decision, I guess, would be a good thing to say.
So it's not like a royalty that gets passed down by generations.
No, so for me, I grew up riding horses and kind of got into performance showing mainly, and then went to college, rode a little there, and kind of had taken a break. And as I finished up my second year of teaching, I felt very, I guess, unsettled in life and unsettled in where I was headed, and the thought of this is what I've got left is work and going home and hanging out with my cat. And, I'm very goal oriented, and for me, I needed something to work towards, and I needed a goal. And my best friend from college is Jessie Cornforth. She was 2018 Miss Rodeo Oregon. Yeah. And I FaceTimed her one day and I said, here's what I want to do. And she looked at me and said, are you sure? And I was like, yep. Yeah. And she's like, all right, well, I'll help you get there. Yeah. So I started training, and I spent all summer getting back in the saddle and riding, because it had been probably 3 years since I had really been riding consistently again. And so kind of got back into that, tried out for Sisters as my first kind of rodeo queen pageant, kind of getting the feel for things, and wasn't successful, but I learned a lot. And I kind of, Jessie had mentioned, Canby up their age a year, so if you want to try out, you should. And I just kind of was like, oh, okay, well, I'll give it a shot, and here we are. So it's kind of one of those things that it gave me something to do outside of work, and really set a goal for myself and be working towards it again, and having something to look forward to again, which I had kind of lacked for a while.
Looking back, do you think you were looking for a challenge, and then seeing everything that happened, you're like, what, be careful what you wish for, what have I done? I'm just kidding. A little bit more than you bargained for at times in terms of...
Some of the time I'm like, wow, okay, this has been 2 years, and even in that 2 years, my life has changed. I moved another 90 miles west to the coast. I changed jobs. I met a new school.
Cool.
Kind of learning to navigate how to teach online and how to kind of juggle everything became a little bit of a challenge this year, is trying to be here for our rodeo appearances, and being an extra 2 hours away out on the coast was a little bit rough, but I don't think I would trade it. I would put up with the sleepless nights and the getting home at midnight and getting up at 6.
Very appropriate with the Journey music starting as the background. Marley, last question for you. Can you tell us, you ladies, by the way, are just incredible in your riding and the routines that you do at the rodeos. Tell us a little bit about the work and the preparation and the training that goes into that and what that's like.
Yeah, it's an incredible amount of work. I don't think people realize just how much goes into it, because they're like, oh, you're out just riding your horse around.
Riding your horse with a flag,
and
right?
That is definitely not the case. We go through rigorous testing, both written and then interviews, impromptu questions, speeches, and it's really an incredible experience, and it teaches you a lot about just life lessons in general. And I know that all three of us will take away a lot from this experience to then apply to future jobs and just future opportunities. It's definitely taught me too to just take up every opportunity that's thrown at me. This year has been a roller coaster, to say the least. And we were given lots of opportunities that we jumped on, and I'm very grateful that we chose to do those things. And now we're here, and it's just incredible to look back and see just all this hard work is just playing out here now, and it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. JJ, can you tell us how you got into what you do?
I was too scared to steal and too lazy to work.
So you landed on rodeo.
This is a job that you, I don't think there's anybody that as a young kid or as an adolescent that really is like, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
I wanted to be a rodeo star. I wanted to be a bull rider, and I wanted to be the star of rodeo, and I just I didn't have that ability and work ethic to develop the ability, and so I rodeoed through college and had a little success in some events, but I became a school teacher, and that was where I just kind of landed. And I can understand when she talks about that unsettling feeling of this is life from now on, because when they shut the door on a teacher in a classroom and 30 eyes or sets of eyes are staring at you, you do have a little gasp, and you're like, geez, is this what I do the rest of my life? You're just putting out fires. And that, so I just decided that I wanted to, after 8 years of that, I wanted to try something a little bit different, and had a weird opportunity. Everybody has that weird story where a friend of mine was putting on bull ridings and said, hey, you want to be the rodeo clown? Of course I said no, because clowns are stupid and wear makeup, and that's not what I'm doing. And he was like, well, I'll give you $250. And I was like, what kind of makeup do you want me to wear? No problem. And then I did the one event in Vancouver, actually. The very first event I ever did was right here close to Canby. It was the Clark County Fair.
Sure, love it.
And we did a bull riding, and his idea of my first thing, he kind of downplayed it. It's not a big deal, it'll be easy. There was, I think, 4,000 people.
Yeah.
It was a sellout event, and I was crapping a golden brick that
you were nervous
Christmas,
you were nervous about 30 kids.
Yeah, so it was definitely like a trial by fire. but it went really well.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was the little things I was going to do did not go well.
Yeah.
The little acts I was going to do all fell apart, but the ad-libbing,
yes,
the rolling with it that
Yeah.
teachers do every single day is what really
the banter,
captivated.
that you do a lot of that in your act,
Captivated the crowd. And
Yeah.
so that's what sold me that I could definitely do this job. And then it became very simple. I did it a couple of years. I did both jobs. In the summer, I would work what's called an MPRA association, which is over here mostly on the I-5 corridor. And then I would teach school. And if I could make a rodeo work on the weekend, I would do it. If I couldn't, I'd tell them no. And I finally got to where I had larger scale rodeos asking me, and it was funny because it was actually a guy from Molalla that wanted me to work the Molalla Buckaroo. He said, I told him, no, I can't do that one. I'm sorry, I'm teaching school and I have a meeting or some stupid thing. And he said, you need to make a decision because these are big rodeos and we ask one time, but we don't typically ask you twice. And it made me think that if I was going to do this job, I might want to take a shot at it. So I told myself that if I can equate, I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
If I can equate my entire teaching salary, if I can equal it by rodeoing in the summertime in 3 months or less, those two numbers were the same, then I would feel comfortable to step away from teaching and pursue rodeo full time. And I thought that might take a little while. It happened the first year.
Yeah.
In fact, I surpassed my teaching salary. And that tells you one of two things. Number one, either I'm really a phenomenal rodeo clown, or probably more likely, teachers are underpaid.
Yes.
So it became a decision for
could
me.
Be both. Could be both.
Could be both. I've had a little success in this. But it really kind of just let me know that this is a lifestyle I like. It's a lifestyle I know. It's something that's fun to do.
Yeah.
And, it really, when I stepped away from teaching, it was a hard decision, but I knew it was the right decision.
Yeah.
Because I like a job where the better you are, the better you're paid.
Yeah.
It's a performance-based assessment.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that all the weight of my career is on my shoulders, not anybody else's.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nice. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of what was, the business side of it that brought me to it. The emotional side of my job is that it's just fun.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere I go, it's their biggest weekend of the year. They've been waiting all year.
Yeah.
When it's
More
time
than
to
a year now.
when it's time to clean these porta potties, I'll be sitting in Kennewick where it's their biggest week of the year.
Yeah.
They've been waiting all year for this. They're so excited, and that energy is up. And so when that drop comes or that doom and gloom like the Queenies were talking about, I never really experienced that because I shut the door. Great rodeo, good job, love you, Queenies. On to the next one.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why I do it for a living. I don't know that there are queens that do it for a living.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why there's term limits.
Yeah. Back to the Queens, and we'll wrap up here. Can you guys just tell me, I guess, your favorite thing or favorite memory of
Well, it's
either the
obviously
fair,
JJ.
besides JJ,
Oh, yeah.
obviously that goes without saying, and just anything else that you'd like to share with folks.
Besides JJ, I think my favorite part of this rodeo has just been hanging out with my two other court members, my princess and my queen, and just running around on the golf cart, getting to different events, and of course the food is good too.
Yeah, you guys have been busy. I feel like I've seen you at least 4 events.
Oh yeah,
just
you
in the
see
past
us all
week.
over.
Yeah.
I think for me, my favorite part would definitely be getting to hang out with these two and losing a couple and some get-in loser. We're going autograph signing in the golf cart. But it's also been special for me because I get to share the arena with one of my best friends. Jesse's running the flag every night, and so
cool.
getting to kind of share the arena with her has been really great too, and reconnect. And it's a moment that both of us will never forget. And I mean, this whole experience has been, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Marley?
Yeah, I mean, these last 2 years have just been nothing short of incredible. And this week alone has just been amazing. And I can't help but thank these two enough. Alexa even got me a personal encounter with Pickles the cow, and I got to pet him. That was the highlight of my week so far.
Who is
So
Pickles?
he is a Charlotte Cross.
Yeah.
Owned by one of her 4-H friends, who was kind enough to let us pet him and hang out with him and take pictures.
Love it.
So that was incredible. But yeah, as this comes to a close, it's getting real, and it's getting just crazy.
Yeah.
Ready for that final run, but also not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Anything else to share, ladies?
We're really excited, I guess, to have the best night of the week on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Anybody who has anybody interested in trying out to be on the rodeo court, it's probably going to be one of the best years of your life.
Yeah.
Know that it's busy, but you'll have an incredible experience. We're hosting tryouts on the 30th of October. I believe it starts at 8 a.m.
Okay.
The application will be on the Canby Rodeo website, so if you are interested or you know somebody who's interested, feel free to connect them with that. We'd love to have as many applicants trying out as possible and kind of get to see a really awesome group to kind of follow us this next year. So
we'd love to help them with the application process, tell them anything they need to know. So feel free to contact either of us, and we'll be happy to help.
Ask us any questions.
All right, so there's still hope for you, JJ.
There's still hope. I'm actually, tonight's act, I'm actually declaring myself Mr. Rodeo Oregon.
Okay.
So I've stolen a horse, got a nice suit to help
Spoilers alert.
show off my body a little, and and I believe I've drugged Miss Rodeo Oregon in with me.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, the current Sam Hendricks, so she'll be involved in the act. And you know the thing about Queen, since we're sitting here next to them, they do a lot of amazing things in promoting their rodeos. They really support each other and show up for each other, and that's, you know, like a good dad, half of it's just showing up, right? And that's what they do for each other, and that's pretty neat considering the pay. I don't know if they've talked about their pay at all, but there's literally millions and millions of dollars that is in the world, and they get none of it for doing this job. So it's kind of like a volunteer position, and I think that I know that there's scholarships and things that they can be awarded, but the amount of work, the amount of time they put in, the cost that they have, and it's amazing that they do it at this level. And you look for, you know, there's obviously scholarship stuff like I mentioned, but they'll have fundraisers to try to help with the diesel, but as diesel goes up, they still travel. They're still cruising around hauling big loads. So it's pretty neat with it that they do that. And then we get to rodeos, and they're always up for being in an act. These three beautiful girls were in a clown act already this week.
Right.
And I like to do that. I like to showcase them in some capacity. I like to do something different each night. But you know, they were stars of the night in a clown act, not to mention their queen duties. And I think that's really a cool thing. And sometimes people don't really realize how much work it is to be one of these girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Any last things to share, JJ, with folks?
Well, now that I've made it sound like a tremendous amount of work, girls, come down and try out. They don't pay nothing, and you get to work your ass off. So yeah, let's
You'll have a lot of fun.
And you get to be a surprise clown. So.
Yeah. No, it is a lot of fun. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
thank you guys so much. Have a great last night. Break a leg. Good luck, JJ, on your candidacy for Mr. Rodeo Oregon. Tyler, thanks for following me around today.
Thank you. Always good to have you.
Tyler, did you know that the Australian lyrebird can mimic any sound that it hears, even chainsaws?
No, that's super interesting.
Did you know that a baby puffin is called a puffling? Or that baby sea otters can't swim, so their moms wrap them up in pieces of kelp until they learn how to paddle?
Wait, do you know any trivia that isn't like animal related?
Not really, but here's some stuff you may not know about the Wild Hare Saloon, where Canby goes to eat and have fun.
Okay.
The Wild Hare is one of Canby's longest running locally owned restaurants. Owners Joan and Darren Moden have been in business for 16 years.
That's cool.
Heck, you were just a baby back then.
Wait, what?
And they love to give back. They've been members of the Canby Chamber for that long, and they donate over $20,000 to local sports, FFA programs, and civic organizations each year.
Wow, I'm legitimately caught off. That's cool.
Yeah. They also support more than 30 jobs in the community through their award-winning staff, some of them as young as 18. Hey, that's older than you are.
Dude, I'm 10 months younger than you.
With the days getting longer and the weather getting warmer, the Canby Wild Hare's expansive outdoor patio is the place to be. Furry friends welcome.
Well, that sounds great. I'm going to go check them out just off of Highway 99E next to the Space Age in Canby at 1656 Beaver Creek Road in Oregon City, or on their website at thewildharesaloon.net. Now Hear This Canby is produced by me, Tyler Clausen. Our content director and star reporter is Tyler Frankie. And of course, our show is edited by Cameron Clausen. We also feature the vocal talents of Joyce Struby and James Walden, so a round of applause to them. The song that you're hearing right now is Canby by singer-songwriter Olivia Harms, used with her permission. To find more work from her, you can visit her website olivia13.com.
Now Hear This Canby is dedicated to preserving independent local journalism and redefining local news with our fun, fresh, and energetic brand of storytelling. Our sincere thanks to our local sponsors who make this show possible. Please show your appreciation by supporting the small businesses who support us.
The production of Now Hear This Studios, Canby's locally owned full-service audio, video, and media production company. Our mission is to produce the best content in the universe, and we'd love to help you do it. Find us online at nhtstudios.com.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
I just moved it.
I didn't even ask for it, though.